And it's running late.
Okay.
Should probably be here like 6:17.
Fate of the world, terror clock ticking.
And it's running late.
What's up, though, man?
What's up, bro?
You good?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Rock this one, baby.
I know.
Oh. Ain't nothing wrong with the upset. Be blessed, bro.
All right.
I'm doing it, bro.
Should black people vote for a fair tax? Y'all take a moment to share the broadcast.
At one point, she was sitting there happily smiling and taking pictures, and the next moment, she was in pain. She collapsed.
Is that you?
Doing what?
With the volume?
You mean that noise? I mean, that was the TV.
Morning Show with Maze Jackson on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Rise and shine. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show. Wake up!
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
Great.
Todd, you're feeling great. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm feeling kind of good myself this morning. You know what? How about those Toronto Raptors? Do you think Kevin Durant is proving a point right now?
No.
No?
I think, for one thing, I think Toronto's really good. But I also think that you got to have at least two real scorers out on the floor, and Golden State doesn't have that.
Well, I'm going to tell you. So, you don't think they're missing Kevin Durant then? I think they are missing Kevin Durant.
But you got to remember Klay Thompson didn't play.
Klay Thompson, so you think Klay Thompson would have made a big difference yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
I think he would have made a big
He's not
difference.
Part two of the Splash Brothers for nothing.
Well, you know what? I give you that. I'm going to tell you what, though. I think that in a blow for the dark-skinned brothers in the world, I want to see Golden State go down. Go down, because Golden State got the light skin thinking they coming back in. But I'm telling y'all now.
I just like, I like litter.
I know, you said some craziness a couple weeks ago. I'm going to
I
let
guess
that
it ain't
go.
so crazy now, huh?
No, it's still crazy. He need about 5 more rings, about 50 billion.
I didn't say he was Michael Jordan. I said he's Michael Jordan-like.
You know, people always used to say that. Remember, what was that other kid they called Baby Jordan? Remember how everybody was...
Yeah, from USC.
Right, remember everybody... You know what, I'm going to let
Yeah,
it
but
be.
you can't say that about somebody in college. You can only say that about somebody who's playing in the NBA and puts up numbers and plays like it.
Okay, I'll give you something. I'm not gonna still say it's nothing close.
That's
to
right. I don't really respect your basketball knowledge.
It. You know what? It is the WVON morning show. Todd is starting early this morning.
It's like you don't respect my Bolingbrook.
You know what? You're gonna respect our Bolingbrook. You're gonna show that love.
Well, you know, the Sonia's told me. I mean, I wouldn't tell you this except there's people listening. The Sonia said if they have to listen about Mush Mouse and Russell and Weird Harold and you taking over Bolingbrook again, their heads gonna explode.
And you sound like that was the Fat Albert episode, man. What you trying to talk about, man? We didn't have much mouth. We had to enunciate, pronunciate.
Yes, I know. You guys had to pretend like you were highfalutin.
Highfalutin.
Unlike us regular Negroes in the city.
Now let's just be clear. Did Todd say us regular Negroes in the city? He of Saint. What was your grammar school?
St. Felicitas Falcons.
There you go. And then where did you go to college? I mean, high school.
St. Ignatius.
You with what? Ooh, again, regular what?
Hey.
They went up. They don't have. They're not.
90% of St. Ignatius was black.
I bet it was. I bet it was. Did you see it?
And by the time I graduated St. Felicitas, 100% of that was black.
Yep. And where's St. Felicitas? Let me stop.
St. Felicitas is in the ghetto, brother.
Hey, you know what?
There you go.
All right, let's. Well, you know, we were killing a little time. Sonia's like, get on it. We were actually waiting for the flight crew to get here. So right now we're waiting for a net floor noise. So we are sitting on the tarmac, and if I heard correctly, one half of the Wonder Twins left their coffee sitting on top of the car on the way in the door. Now, have you ever done that?
Before.
I've done that too.
It's not for coffee because coffee sucks.
You know what the worst is? Have you ever left your cell phone on top of the car?
No.
Okay, well that has got to be the worst. So there's two ways this ends up. It either ends up that you got a good sticky and you haven't gone very far and it's on the top of your roof and you're like, or it is the other option, which is it flies off of your roof, you remember it or you hear it slightly, and then you go back to get it, and when you go back right before you do, here comes a car and man, I'm going to tell you what. So she's getting her. So we're going to stay on the tarmac for a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to run through a couple headlines real quick. Todd, did you see? First of all, today is the 75th anniversary of the invasion of Normandy at D-Day.
Yes,
Is that correct?
That's right.
75th anniversary. Some of those guys are still jumping out of planes yesterday. I was listening to the description. And
Of D-Day?
yeah, I mean, I've seen movies, but I think, you ever seen
The
stuff?
Longest Day is really good.
I haven't seen that, but yes, this week for some reason I keep catching these veterans talking about the survivors, and just I can't even imagine what it had to be like to be on a boat, and then they open the door and it's like, I just could not imagine that. Man, respect to our veterans. Although
Storming anything means that a whole bunch of people are going to get killed before you actually get to where you're trying to get to.
right, hence, and so do you play the back or do you just run and say I'm gonna take it when I get it? Do you try to, you know what I'm saying?
There's no back. If you are the first wave, you are in front. And the only thing you can do is shoot and pray.
Man, and just thinking then, yeah, I was listening to some of the descriptions. So I want to send a big shout out to our veterans. You know, I always think about, though, when I think about World War II, I think about that episode in Roots the Next Generation. Roots the Next Generation, and when they do Roots the Next Generation, I think about how they treated black soldiers during that time. You know, and so it's like, you know, I bet it was probably all right to be a black soldier during that time because you was in the kitchen. But you're still on the boat, you know what I mean? But hey,
let them go to a lot of places.
well, I'm going to say
But I will say, one of my favorite movies now is Miracle at St. Anne. I like you, Spike Lee. Good job.
You know what? I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to check that out. You know what? How about, you know, we're gonna talk a little bit about When They See Us. Did you see? Did everybody watch When They See Us? Because I told you, I know I talked a little bit about it, and I said I had some comments regarding the sexual orientation of it. But I actually, has everybody had the opportunity to see? Have you watched When They See Us? The Story of the Central
I
Park
haven't seen
5. It is a 4-part docudrama on Netflix. And when I tell you, my friend, it is jarring. Everybody keep talking about they can't take it. Sonya says she can't take it. People have been watching and saying I wasn't ready. I can't. And we got to talk about it. But I want you to think about it, and I want to put this in perspective. Yesterday, as I was reading all the comments and watching everybody reflect on the series, all I could think about, Todd, was the number, how many times that happened in Chicago. So like while you were focused on the Central Park 5, think about the Chicago 5,000. It seems like to me every single month we are hearing a story of somebody being released after 20 years of being locked up. Now, when They See Us did was put it in graphic reality, kind of what happens behind the scenes. But they still didn't get as graphic. Can you imagine the scene when John Burge decides that he's going to hook your testicles up to an electric battery? So Chicago.
But I would say that Chicago. I think every big city, Philadelphia, all the big cities had the same thing where black men were railroaded. That was the way of the system.
I agree.
I've seen so much because I watched Law and Order, and Law and Order is always based off of something real. So I remember this episode like it was yesterday.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the reason I'm bringing this up is because right now, Linda Fairstein, who was one of the stars of the movie, is Felicity Huffman. She played the prosecutor who made the decision that said, look, we got to hang somebody for this. We got 5 black kids in jail. Let's just use them. Let's change the timeline. Let's do it. And it really put in graphic detail kind of behind the scenes. And she went on to become a celebrated sexual criminal, whatever. She wrote books and all types of good stuff.
Yes, because it's all on the paper. I wouldn't know her name except now that this has come out. Everyone is denouncing her and saying, hey, don't read those books.
Now, let me ask a question. Should that happen in Chicago? Think about this. And you know what? This actually just tied all together. So, I was thinking about Anita Alvarez. Where's she at now? Is she making money? Yes. I just saw in the headlines that Rahm is coming back. He's opening up a major investment firm, a Chicago branch here. He's going to get paid off of, even though he presided over what has to be the most dramatic case. Guys, you know what? The profitability of Black Death, the profitability of pain is something of the black. You can get away with it and get paid. You could do black people and get paid. Now, we're going to blacklist this lady, but she's gone on. Them kids was locked up for all those years. We're going to talk about all of it and how it ties together. Because, Ty, I believe that Black Death, black pain and suffering, white folks find a way to make profit off of it. Mm-hmm. And this...
there's always that theory, well, if they didn't do this, they probably did something else.
Exactly. Like, remember the story, I don't know if you heard the story about, why'd you shoot that black man in the back? Well, he was running, wasn't he?
Right. So
he must have did something. Yeah. Look, y'all, we're going to talk about it all when we come back. It's the Talk Chicago 1690. Maze Jackson, Ty Stroger. We're waiting on the soul plane to get off the ground.
More of the morning show.
Yeah, we lost the broadcast. We'll be back.
On the Talk.
We got frozen. I felt inspired to write yesterday. I want to go see Lionel Richie.
Yeah, he's a great alpha, man.
He's an alpha? Mm-hmm. I thought he was a Q. It wasn't because Tom Joyner was a Q.
Tom Joyner's definitely a Q. Yeah, no, alpha, man. they ought to do an Ohio Day too. Taking all those, well, that's Ohio, but Alabama, but either way.
It's a person who introduces new methods, ideas, or products. This year for Black Music Month, WVON will celebrate innovative. Listen all month long as we celebrate our music, our innovators, away in our station. We're at WVON.
African Americans are only 12% of the population, but are 44% of new HIV infections.
Gee.
Medicines that suppress the virus and make it undetectable are available. African Americans are not taking those medications in the numbers needed. By revolutionizing the way we treat HIV awareness. This Saturday,
Perfect hot air balloon and the less than perfect one. Seen it, covered it. Talk to farmers. WVON traffic and weather now.
Inbound Ryan, a 25-minute trip from 95th Street to downtown. Getting there, already 27 minutes along the Bishop 4 from I-8094. Kiki Air Memorial moving along about 16 minutes east from the 80. Still light traffic on the driving way. 54 minutes on the Stevenson and from I-355 to Drive, 45 on the return trip. It's about a 35-minute trip along Eisenhower from Oakdale to Neighbor. Outbound 95 minutes. Kennedy off to a 27-minute start from all here downtown. 8 in the expressway. Outbound to the airport is a 26-minute trip. Waking up with a little patchy fog, however, through some sunshine. Temperatures right now in the mid-50s. The best place to visit is daytime highs around 65. It's 55 in Cannabis, 55 in Englewood, and 55 here at the top of Chicago. They have to look at traffic and weather. I'm Anna Ruby on the top of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON lineup. Chat room.
You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I got my co-host, Ty Strojan. It looks like, y'all, we got the Soul Plane all in the building. The Net Flournoy is locked and loaded in the newsroom, as well as the Wonder Twins. That's right, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins are both in the building. So let's get this thing to 50,000 feet. Let's get this thing to 50,000 feet. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger. Todd, you know what? We got a few things in the headlines I want to talk about. Let's hit the... did you see that it is getting real for the Cook County judges? They seem to be realizing that there is something going on, and they better start being a little bit more responsive.
You mean people actually know they exist?
People actually know they exist, and now it seems, Todd, that you can't just get away with whatever you were doing. Apparently, it seems as though the Cook County judges decided that they were not going to renew Judge Schwind. Have you heard about this Judge Schwind? Apparently, he told a defendant while he was on the bench, a black defendant, you were a slave, but you're offended by it now. Apparently, he was in court for some sort of racial issue, and he told the defendant from the bench he was a slave, and now you're offended by it.
I guess when it's your courtroom, you can say whatever you want.
You think, or so? Well, you can say it.
Well,
Well,
yeah, right.
you can say it,
Right.
but there. Well, see,
Are there repercussions?
you know what? See, to me, the problem with a lot of times with the judges is they really do have that judges like all power. Like in the courtroom, they are completely all powerful.
Right.
And they wear it on their sleeves. But I just think, like, who says that? Like, and my question would be, how did he get that far? You know what I'm saying? Like, who said, yeah, this guy's gonna be a good candidate? I bet we know.
How's that happen?
Right. Well, we know how it happens, though. We know how it happens because who was in charge of the judges? We just talked about this.
No, but it's actually bigger than Ed Burke. I don't want to make the world revolve around Ed Burke because he's only one person. It's bigger than that because all these judges are vetted. So every election, the bar associations all come out and say if they think this person is qualified. So I'm pretty sure that these people that we are talking about now probably came out with good ratings.
Before, you mean?
Before they got on the bench.
Oh, I'm saying, but then you got the judges that consistently had bad ratings. And this guy got bad ratings before. He's had bad ratings before they just put him back on. But I'm glad to see.
You're talking about like associate judges and appointments?
Yep. So I'm excited to see that the Cook County Bar Association has decided I am glad that the Cook County judges have decided that they realize that people are watching. They are watching, and so they gotta, because ordinarily, Todd, they probably would have slid them back through, right?
Oh yeah, right. If the world wasn't paying attention now because of so much crazy stuff that we find out about what goes on in the public justice system.
Mm-hmm. Hey, shout out to I'm gonna talk about the state reps and state senators in a little while, but before I do, I want to send a big shout out to State Senator Toy Hutchinson. I want to send a big shout out to State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth. I don't know if you all saw in Forbes yesterday. Basically, they said that the Illinois got it right, or as close to right as it could be, as it related to cannabis, and called New York and New Jersey. They said that Illinois made New York and New Jersey look like dorks.
Yeah, wow, we don't usually get that kind of
right, especially from the East Coast.
Yes.
Coming back this way. I'm going to tell you all, and I know everybody seems to be like, man, that ain't enough. We ain't do enough. We ain't spent the money we done had in so many cases right now. So I want to say that I think Black Chicago, Black Illinois, we have to commend our legislators when they bring us to the forefront. And you got to admit that in this cannabis debate, I was there for the last cannabis debate. They talked about black people, but they talked about like we were the scourge of the earth. And all the black folks sat around and didn't say nothing. This time they held it up, but not only did they hold it up, they brought something back. Yeah. So I want to send a shout out to Toy Hutchinson, State Senator Toy Hutchinson, State Representative Jahan Gordon, who drove the equity conversation through this. And y'all, it's a lot going on. And can I say, can we please not allow ourselves to be hustled in a desire to get out? Do y'all know that the state is now looking for people to do outreach to help people get involved in the business? You don't have to pay to get. Todd, have you ever had to pay to find out about an investment opportunity?
No, I won't do that.
So I'm going to be clear. Do not approach me. You know how Jay say, you can't sell me BS, I know the prices? Do not approach me with the plan or the attempt to hustle our people. Okay? You keep hitting me with it, I'm going to call you out. You do not have to pay. I have never in my life been told that I have to pay to invest in something, to find out how to invest in something.
Well, no, I see it all the time. I mean, there's plenty of people say, come to my thing and I'll show you what to do and how to do it and I don't know. I don't usually see them actually tell you who to invest to, but how to do it,
Okay.
how to look for it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm telling y'all now, there is money allocated to educate black people, not to educate people, there's money allocated to educate people on this process and how to get involved in the process.
Right.
I'm not getting paid. Don't pay me. You're not gonna, I'm not hustling anybody. All right, y'all.
And we have to invite the senator back to talk about her role as president.
Yes, we will have the senator back. We're going to actually have a lot of them back. Man, it seems like, well, the ones that are willing to come, because, I hear they be ducking us. They be like, what? I got it. We're going to go.
I can't believe it.
You can't believe people would duck the show.
No.
Todd, I thought you were supposed to soften them up so they would come in. They would be like, Todd, you're not crazy. That dang on Maze, he's something else, but I'll come talk to you. No?
Here, I'll ask him.
Okay. Hey, y'all, it's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's our news now.
You got the cameras, Todd.
Man, too much late night smoking and drinking whiskey.
Todd, do you drink?
I'm a social drinker. And that just means I'm not very social, so I drink about once every 3 months or so. But I can't drink a lot. If I drink, I can't get home.
What do you mean you can't get home?
If I have, depending on what I have, if I have something too strong, I'm through. If I have 2 drinks, I could be stopped and ticketed.
So that's what Uber is for, dog.
Yeah, I guess so. But so I don't know. We just don't go out enough that drinking is that interesting, and I don't drink at home.
Who has a good? I need a good retreat. Where can I go?
How far do you want to go?
Well, I was thinking, I really want to go to an island, but I don't know if I got time. Like, I really want to know, like, who has like a
People like Costa Rica.
Yeah, but it's I don't have the time to do it. Like, if I go to Costa Rica, I need a week, at least.
Oh yeah.
I need to go. I want to go. Who has a good house I could rent?
Oh, that's a good question.
Somebody got a good house I could rent. We could go up
What
to
kind
like.
of weather do you like though?
I mean, I would go to like now. If it's 80 or 90, I would go to Michigan.
Uh-huh.
Or go to. I want to rent a house that has a pool, where I
You
could
wanna sit around in the pool.
No, I don't even want to be in the pool. I just want the
You
pool.
want the pool to be there.
I want the pool to sit by the pool.
Uh-huh.
I want like a nice, maybe like a nice porch and just nothing to do. Like just be able to chill, maybe do a little fishing. But the pool, cause I don't really want to get in. I don't like getting in the ocean, and I don't like getting in the lakes.
No, it's just too salty.
Well, I don't like none of that stuff. And then I just be seeing everybody be like, I see everybody's video, I'm peeing in the ocean. And I realize
The
that
ocean's
you
pretty
can,
big, though,
I
man. That's kind of
understand.
fun.
I understand, but it's just the concept that, that's why I stay out the swim up bars now. Like at the resorts, I used to be like, oh, I need a swim up bar. I'd be like, dog, you been in this water. You been in this water. You ain't got out the pool for 5 hours, dog.
Right,
You drank 12 beers.
I think you're right about that.
I need to get out of here. Take a moment, share the broadcast. How's everybody?
You can go up to the Abbey.
What's the Abbey?
It's on Lake Geneva.
Ooh,
President Carter stayed there once.
is it nice? Well, obviously,
I guess so.
president. I've had some very nice days in Wisconsin, like at Lake Geneva. I want to go. I really wish there was somewhere like black, but like positive black, not like Martha's Vineyard. Okay, I know this.
Which I've never been to, but I heard of.
I've never been there either. The Inkwell. Dang, Lionel, why you dogged me yesterday, man? You was like, man, I never seem to amaze you. What I do? I be trying to be impressive, man. I thought my piece yesterday was, I'm going to tell y'all, I thought my piece yesterday was kind of deep. I ain't going to even lie. I was pretty proud of
Oh,
it.
this is what you wrote. I gotta read that.
I was pretty proud of that one yesterday. Cause I just was sitting there and I was thinking like they was playing them damn tapes. And I was just like, yo. Why? I feel like none of us wanted Jussie Smollett to go to jail. We did want to see him working on SWAT. Right? We wanted to see him do some SWAT. And as we watch This Is Us, at how they see, when they see us, we recognize that we can't turn our people over to the criminal justice system. But at the same time, Jussie was just very disrespectful. Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, you know you did get the benefit of being who you were. Nobody wants to say it, but I'm going to say it out loud. You did. But what you were supposed to do was get on a plane and get the frick up out of here and not say a word. Selfish.
No humility, not humble at all.
I would not be my mama's son if I did this. Well, who is your mama? Because we know you did it. And it just... Yeah, I feel like that was one of my... I haven't been inspired to write in a while. That was a good one for me. Am I back?
Yep.
Huh?
We're back.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, we got the soul plane up to 50,000 feet. But you know, June is Black Music Month, right? June is Black Music Month. And we are featuring artists with a musical legacy of innovation. And when you talk about innovation and you talk about Chicago, you know you talk about people like Common, you talk about people like Kanye, but Chance the rapper is our new innovator. Shout out to Chance. Shout out to the Bennett family. Chance, what's Taylor Bennett?
Yeah.
Ken and his wife representing Chicago well. So today we will be featuring songs from Chance. You don't want no problems with me. That's my jam. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it some more. But y'all, it's time for the social media question.
I like the commercials.
Of the day. Social media question of the day. Yesterday, lawmakers from all around the state lined up with Governor J.B. Pritzker as he signed the first balanced budget we've had. Well, we had a balanced budget Bruce Rauner's last one because they had an election coming. And they wanted to make sure that the elected officials didn't say we didn't do anything over the last 4 years. So, but this is really the first real budget that they've all been proud of. With a $40.1 billion spending plan. And, Todd, it includes the new income tax rates for the so-called fair tax. But for it to be finalized, the fair tax needs us. Me, you, everybody listening to vote for it, because this is only the first step. Right. It has to be a constitutional amendment. And so as we move to the fair tax, I want to know it's the fair tax, but fair for who? They say that it is going to finally bring equity because the billionaires will pay what they owe. Right? They will. So essentially, what J.B. Pritzker is doing is providing Illinois has been forever a flat tax state. So your Illinois taxes, you pay 3 something %. And no matter how much money you made, you could pay no more than that.
Right.
Which, in some cases, was a stopgap because, it seems like every tax they can find to raise, they raise. And they always got a reason for it.
Well, not just taxes, but fees.
Taxes, fees, right? So we just saw that it's going to cost us $50 more to get a state license, register your state vehicle. Think about how much that little bitty sticker. I feel like the least they got to do is give me a new plate. But anyway, I'm not going to because I want to stick with the fair tax. But the fair tax is fair for who? And I keep telling y'all, it sounds good right now because what they essentially are doing is removing the caps on the tax. So now, in this first go round, in year one, they're going to say, we're going to take off the tax. You all vote for this fair tax, and we are going to make those billionaires pay. But just like we saw with the casino bill, the billionaires get together after a minute, put their money together, hire some lobbyists, and then they go change the law. And then what they figure out is, well, if we're paying this much, and we want it to be fair, then let's make these people pay beneath us. So right now, you would think that you're voting only to change the tax brackets for the rich people. That's the way it will appear. But essentially what you are doing is giving the Illinois legislature the ability to raise all of our taxes as needed. Am I correct, Todd?
I believe you are.
So, the question I have is, because I always find it amazing when Democratic legislators come to black people and be like, guess what, y'all? We got another tax increase. And they act like we supposed to be like, yeah! Whoa! We all pay taxes. But it almost feels to me, though, Todd, the way they sell it to black people is the same way white people kind of carry it. I almost feel like it's the same thing. Like if you go to like a Joe Walsh event, they will assume that black people don't pay taxes. They really will. But at the same time, when you talk to black legislators and they come to black people, they be like, we raised the taxes. And it's like, Joe, we pay them taxes too.
Right. Exactly.
But they come to us like, man, we finally got them. No, fool, you got all us.
Right. We're all in this.
So the question becomes, because now you all know the legislature has done their job. And they voted for a fair tax. So they're going to raise the taxes on the rich people, but next year it'll be us. In 2 years from now it'll be everybody. And guess what? The rich people will have had the lobbyists, will have reduced their tax. They will wind up paying less. Because essentially now what they've done is, this the overlay for the underplay. So tell us, we'll pay extra taxes for 1 year, and 1 year only. And then next year, y'all got to move this stuff down. I mean, think about when you think about what rich people put their money where they can find it to be taxed easily. Nobody.
Nobody I know.
Even the governor has money offshore.
That's right.
It's like, I be thinking like, JB, how about this? How about you bring them billions you got offshore back into Illinois and let us tax that? Everybody that's hiding money out the country, bring that back, put it in the bank here, let us tax that, and then let's talk about what's fair. Because essentially, those of us who don't have the ability to open up an account on the Cayman Islands, Todd?
I don't know if I can open one, but I only have like $10.
Exactly. So the question becomes, should black people vote for the fair tax? Because how long will it be fair? How long?
That's always the question. Yes.
Remember when Governor Quinn said he's going to have a temporary tax increase?
Yes.
And then they said, oh no, we're going to make that permanent.
Yeah, I remember, but the whole thing is that politicians tend to lie to everybody.
Even
they're
themselves.
Like, we don't need money. No, I don't really need money, but no. I mean, the system is designed that you'll always need money because a government is not in it for a profit. So,
I can't say that. Look at Ed Burt.
No, the government.
I mean, Ed Burke was the city government, man.
No, Ed Burke is Ed Burke. Ed Burke is just one man. See, that's another thing I don't do. I don't put guys on pedestals. You know, they're still human.
Uh-huh.
He ain't God.
He 500 million human.
He's just a rich human.
Uh-huh.
But you're just as human as I am, and you know what happens? Everybody dies in the end. I believe that's how it works.
I think everybody dies in the end, but while they living, they be getting it. And everybody be like, when the chairman call, everybody be like, oh.
And remember, all the glitters isn't gold. You know, people are rich, but you probably don't know how many drunk rich people there are, how many people have been abused. They're just like the rest of us.
Except they don't have to figure out how they're going to pay their bills tomorrow.
Yeah,
so,
a little less stress.
So I'm going to say this. People always say, oh, money is a bad thing to have. More money, more problems. Let me tell you what. You got problems. You got problems all the time. I'm going to tell you what. But it's a lot easier when you know you can pay your light bill and your rent. But again, I guess my question is, should black people vote for the fair tax? I mean, because the fair tax, right now, taxes the rich, supposedly. But you do realize that this fair tax, because I'm telling you, every commercial will talk about how we going to tax all the people that have been running away with the money. But I want to know, I know I sound crazy. But how does it look for the governor to tell us we all got to pay our fair share and he got money outside the country? I mean, am I crazy? Does that seem just a little hypocritical? I mean, when they're saying, finally, everybody, we're going to get this state back. But they got money. Don't get me started on the toilets. I'm going to leave the toilets alone. We haven't go there on the toilets.
Yeah, I thought you were just going to flush that away.
Todd, are you excited about the fair tax? Are you excited that we're
I'm
gonna?
never excited about taxes.
Well, why does
It's part of life.
Okay, yeah, give us a call 312-374-8130. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's going to be the biggest ad campaigns you thought you saw an election. Let me tell you, they're gonna spend millions of dollars because understand that this gives them the ability throughout perpetuity to change everybody's taxes. And I just tell y'all know the rich people are not going to stand. The rich people going to hire lobbyists. Who you going to hire? It's Talk Chicago 1690. Give us a call, 312-374-8130. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
Good old taxes, huh? Yeah, you know you're going to pay taxes. But, I mean, you're right. There's always going to be a lobbying effort
to make this fair for real. This is not right. We pay how the rich people are gonna be like, I pay $200 million in taxes annually. You want me to pay more?
For one thing, they don't pay that kind of money.
I know. No, usually they pay zero.
Right. I mean, the system is designed for them to figure out ways not to pay all that kind of money. You know, I remember once Charles Barkley said he was a Republican because he was rich. And that was years ago, and his stance has kind of changed. But he was complaining about how much he paid in taxes.
Man,
but I mean, if you're making $100 million and you pay, let's say you literally did pay $28 million in taxes, holy moly, you still got, shoot, I should have done it. Now I got to do the math. 60, what did I say?
28, so that'd be
62 million left.
38. Yep.
Yeah. $62
You
million.
this is you see how government guy talk about spending your money? He said that's how government people think, right? Look, man, you got all this money, just give me a little bit more. That's the same way.
Did you have a conversation with gas?
Who?
Gas people.
Yeah.
She good?
Oh, yeah, I mean, is she as good as she I mean, it's all I did all I could do.
Because you can't take it, I mean, you can take it down, but you can't delete nothing, right?
I took it down for her.
Oh, you nice. That's cool.
I took it down for her.
That's what I'm talking about. When we should look out for each other, we just should look out for each other. That's cool.
I mean, I didn't delete it. I just made it where no one can see it.
What's the matter? Is your breast were too big or something? What's up?
I mean, we can have that conversation off.
Let's have it off camera because I think that's part of what got.
Oh.
That's part of what got. But yeah, I did, and I'm gonna tell you, That's the first time, and I'm gonna tell y'all now. You need to start warning people. That's the last time I'm gonna ever do. Right.
I gotta say, even off.
The camera never goes off.
It rolls for the whole 3 hours, so
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
All right.
We'll talk about it. I don't want to do it on camera. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. But no, we all pay taxes though. It's just like you said. It's not like I'm not paying taxes.
Right. Okay. But when you say that, if we all pay taxes, am I penalized for making more?
No. See, this is my whole argument. My argument is just because you're paying $28 million, so you're trying to say because you pay $28 million that my $10,000 or $20,000 doesn't count?
No, I'm saying
because you're a millionaire.
no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that you're saying a lot of times the way government sees it is, well, if you say everybody got to pay 28% of their income, then I'm cool with that. But if you say I got to pay 40% of my income because I made more, that's bull to me. That's bull. That's bull. Now, I know that the system and the CEO pay and all that stuff is inequitable, but I am going to tell you as a
Like no business.
Well, I ain't finna get him. When you're not looking to get a check back from the government, when you're not looking to get a refund, when you writing checks, not getting them, you'll be like, hold on.
See, the problem is rich people think that they're rich because they are better than everybody. They're smarter, and no, it's.
Todd, do I drive on? I'm not rich, so I'm not in that group.
Yeah.
But do I drive? Is my car driving on the road cost more? Do I, as a person, consume more?
Yeah, but that's through other taxes. Though.
Right. So my point is, so why do you tax me? So if I gotta pay all the other taxes equal to everybody, why does? We'll talk about it. Let's come back. You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger. And we are talking about the fair tax. I want to know, should black people vote for the fair tax? J.B. Pritzker is saying that finally, the rich people will pay their fair share of the tax bill for the state of Illinois. And so essentially what they are doing is going away from a flat tax to a tax bracket system where based on how much you make will determine how much you pay. My concern is that the people that are as a rich person who does not have all of his money being accounted for in Illinois, it sounds somewhat crazy to me that it's like we gotta tax us we gotta pass a bill that allows us to change the tax brackets because we want to make sure everybody pays their money fairly. How about you don't, all the billionaires take their money out of tax shelters, take their money from the Cayman Islands, put it in Illinois, don't write your income as zero, make sure that the corporations pay their corporate taxes instead of writing all of the profit to salaries at the end, right? When Jeff Bezos pays zero in taxes for Amazon and they are telling us that we need to be fair, we need to police yourself. No, why we gotta do it? Let's go to the phone lines, 312-374-8130. Let's go to line 3. The real Mike. Is that Mike O'Connor?
Hey, yeah, good morning.
What's up, Mike? Talk to me.
Hey, there's no way under the sun people should be falling for the okie doke. What they got to do in Springfield, I mean, first of all, most referendums across the United States that are put on the ballot are usually rude or unconstitutional. You can look at the studies, it'll show you that. Anybody in political science know that. This man has lost his mind. If he thinks that we're supposed to, as black folks, mostly economically disadvantaged because that's the masses, are supposed to vote to help our own economic oppression. Somebody may win the lotto. Anything's possible. And so as far as I'm concerned, just like you said earlier, until Pritzker and Rauner and the boys usually who got the money bring their money back to the United States, close down these offshore bank accounts, make that illegal, and deal with that first. Then I may consider voting for what they presume to be fair, because it's not fair to me as a broke Negro. And that's my comment for today. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Mike. Let me ask a question. You think the governor would support a bill that required that all Illinois billionaires bring all of their money back? How about this? I got a bill. Before you can be elected to a statewide office, you have to divest of your offshore banking accounts and put you cannot. We got to figure this out.
Isn't there a law against, what is that? I can't remember the term, but you can't have bills for one set of people.
Okay, so how about this? Nobody that runs for state office should be able to have money in tax shelters should not be able to have tax shelters out of the country. I just find it really crazy, Todd. And I it's sort of like self-dealing again. So you're going to wave your finger because all we think of is the big bad Republican and the big bad rich people. And so you march out to us and say, I fixed it. We're going to change the tax bracket and we're going to make it fair for everybody. So everybody pays based on their income. Todd, we know 1 year from now, there will be a massive lobbying effort. These rich people will spend tens of millions of dollars to go down to Springfield and make the fair tax system fair. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis, Show the Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning, Mays. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning.
You have to look at the big picture. The big picture is this is all about the pension problem. The pension bill, the pension problem is eating up 27% of the budget. So what they did was they came up with this progressive tax, like you say. Progressive means that it can change, and along with the progressive tax, they got the casino, they got the legalized recreational marijuana, and they got the minimum wage increase. They still, if your budget is being ate up by 27% of a certain part, you don't have that much to work with. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Byron. Byron, you're on Talk Chicago 1690.
Hey, good morning, Mays. Hey, 3 quick questions. The deal is the gas tax. That gas tax was doubled. Guess what state is paying the largest gas tax in the United States? Illinois. And what's going to happen when all the rich folks leave Illinois? Who can pick up the taxes then? Of course, the black folks who vote for the Democratic Party. They're playing us, Mays. They are playing us with these taxes. We can't give them no more of our money.
You know what, Byron? Thank you, my brother. So, Todd, when have we seen, when you have an unlimited spigot of money, when have we...
Wait a minute. Who has an unlimited spigot?
The state
Unless you're talking about the governor.
I'm talking about the state has an unlimited spigot of money. Let me back up. They're about to open up a new spigot of money that will come out of our pockets. I do believe that there is good intent with the fair tax, but I think that, what do they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
They say that.
It seems to me like right now with this dominant, I almost feel like, okay, I'm going to get in real trouble right now. I am concerned, Todd, that with this overwhelming majority and no check on the Democratic Party at all, they are passing laws and bills and things that, in my estimation, will not fix the state, but will drive us further into a hole 5 years from now, when J.B. Pritzker is running for president, and all of this stuff is gonna come due. I was listening to somebody say the other day, like, man, for a business owner, if you are a business, like all the gas stations on this side of the Illinois line on the border will close. They gotta pay a $15 minimum wage. They gotta pay a 20-cent gas tax extra, and right across the line, they have they gotta raise their salaries $1 an hour per person. Then they gotta come back next year and do $2.75. Todd, I think that the unions right now are running the table. You got Fair Work Week coming up, which mandates that businesses have to give people 10 days, give them their schedules 10 days out, regardless of the business. And if they don't, they gotta compensate them for the work that they don't do.
Right, but those jobs, those are jobs of people who are pretty much living day to day. I mean, if you think you're going to make something and you don't, but you only find out the day before, like, oh no, you're not working tomorrow. Man, that puts a big cramp in your budget.
I'm gonna tell you, that's how it worked when I was at McDonald's, and guess what that did for me? It motivated me to do a different job. It's the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Plus, a tale of two cities. Did you know that if you live in Streeterville, you live 30 years longer than if you live just 9 miles away in Englewood?
Yes.
That's crazy. We'll talk about it when we come back. Talk Chicago.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice.
1690.
Todd, you got the camera?
Yeah, taxes. The only thing we know, taxes and debt. Yeah, but he's right about the pension. Pension is eating up. It eats up all the money before it gets there, for a major portion of it. But isn't that the system? You know? It's really all the deferring of paying pensions. I mean, you can't put something off for 20 years down the line and not expect that there's going to be some trouble. I mean, it's the same thing I guess we had with the city. The city was kicking the can down the road, pretending like they didn't need money. See, that's the biggest thing, is politicians are afraid to say, look, we need money every year, because things go up every year. Gas goes up every year, electricity goes up, salaries go up every year. Maybe there should be better bargaining, but hey. You know, one of the problems with bargaining is with collective bargaining, when you don't agree, and when do the government and the unions actually agree? That doesn't happen very often. You end up going to an arbitrator. And arbitration is, man, I need to get in that business. Arbitration is not where they say, okay, here's your side. You want this. You want this. Now look at what you're presenting to me, and I'm thinking that maybe both of you are off, and what you really should be is somewhere like right here. You don't do that in arbitration. The arbitrator looks at your proposal, he looks at the other side's proposal, and then he says, this one, or he says this one. So let's say the government's saying, we don't have this type of money. We can't give them 2.5%, 2.2%, whatever. We can afford to give 1.2%. Well, the union says, no, we want 2.2%. The arbitrator can't come back and say, I think both of your numbers are off. It should be 1.5 or 1.7 or whatever. They can't do that, so they have to pick one of the numbers. And from my experience, they tend to pick the higher number instead of the lower number. So, you know, it's just the government has to live off of what they say. So from there, you gotta figure out how you're gonna get that money. And I can tell you, when the county needed money, and you know, it really boiled down to closing all the hospitals except for Stroger. Closing all the hospitals and all the clinics. The only hospital that would have been left was Stroger. Might have been some other things damaged, but those are what I remember, because those are the big ticket items. So it wasn't like we had a lot of room to figure out, okay, what can we do other than raise money. I mean, we'd already made everybody cut back. The president's office, I think we cut like 20% out of the president's office. Doesn't mean that we would perform better, because, you know, you fire people, there's things that either you don't do as well or you just don't do. And that's what's been happening with the city, and I suspect there's other government offices too. They do the same thing. Like when we were talking with President Fred Winkle, and we were talking about the planning department in the city. What year is this? So 15 years ago, every ward had a planner whose job was to look at your ward and try to help you figure out how to use TIF money, what kind of programs that should be awarded out there, how to find places for the empty space, all that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know, they might have 5 planners in the whole department. And they're not really looking, which is kind of interesting, because now the mayor is talking about putting more of the ability to do things in the central office instead of having the alderman kind of give advice. But man, they've been firing people forever. So these offices aren't as big as before, and they aren't able to give you the same kind of support. But that doesn't mean you don't need money. You're always going to need money. Just where's it going to come from? All night long.
You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger. Y'all, it's Black Music Month. And this month, we are celebrating innovators. Chicago's musical innovator of the moment, it is the one and only Chance the Rapper. Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as the Wonder Twins, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins. Gotta say what's up to my co-host Todd Stroger. Todd, this fair tax. I was one of my favorite accountants in the world. My accountant, CPA David Turner, says that government belief of where rich begins is a much lower income than many of us think. If you charge a higher rate, but I'm able to shift most of my income, you're not going to hurt me. You're going to hurt those with less resources. The idea that this plan hits the wealthy is an illusion. The people in the middle will be the ones really paying. And that's how it always works. Right? It's like, it's the average. It's not the two extremes. It's the average. And the average person will be us. It will be, Todd, the people who are homeowners. I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a moment when somebody says, hold it. You talking about the same people we can take out to dinner for $75 a person and change this thing? They gonna count up them $75 meals times 60. What many votes they need, Todd? What they need? 61? No, 60. 60. So 60 votes. They gonna go get them 60 votes. What's 60 times 75?
What?
60.
That's higher math.
60 times 75. My producer will get me that. So $75 a dinner times 60 legislators. So she gonna figure that out. Y'all get y'all calculator, and then you hire about 10 in with SpongeBob in there. And the next thing, we will be paying more. I just don't like the what do they call it? The underlay for the overplay.
Yeah.
No, the overplay for the underlay. The underplay for the overlay. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, we about to get played. Aid. And I'm just telling you, they gonna be like, y'all voted for it. Something y'all just ain't right. And look, they got all the ad campaigns. I bet you they gonna take the ad campaigns. They gonna have big old rich cigar chomping guys who I don't want to pay no taxes. They gonna take them Bruce Brown commercials and flip them. This guy doesn't want to pay. I want to pay more taxes. I'm just right. It's gonna be a docu-series on the wealthy who have cheated. I mean, $4,500 for the meals. Yeah. $4,500 in meals.
But that was my head, so I'm gonna actually do it on the calculator.
I think the one thing that they gotta do, what JB gotta do, is he has got to get to Channel 11. He has got to go to WTTW, and he has got to take off that documentary that they did about him and his family, because the whole thing was about the fact that they made the way they made their money was creating tax shelters. And
really, I didn't.
Get mad. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to find some clips, cause I'm telling you, when you watched that, you was like, "Wait a minute, what do you mean they?" And it was the whole man. And then you got to read that book, Supermob. You read the book, Supermob, then you really gonna.
They're in that too.
Are they in it? Are they in it? See, Todd. That's why I be like, this is why I get so, not frustrated, but I feel like we don't recognize, black people are the only people who have not been able to transfer their ill-gotten gains into wealth.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all do realize there was a Jewish mafia. Then they all got good. Y'all do realize that there was Italian mafia. Now they all got. Y'all do realize that there was an Irish mafia. Shoot, you see, they indicting the kingpin, one of the kingpins right now.
Not quite the same, but
right. Oh, but then you see the GDs and the brothers got locked up. I'm just saying. Everybody else organized crime on the street. Now they organize business. I organized crime. Went to jail.
No, I would say the difference, that there is a difference, I'm not an expert on this stuff or anything, or well read, is that as the centuries went on, and there are some black people whose money transferred, but not to make them fabulously wealthy like the others did. But it was their children just like The Godfather. The whole point of Michael was for Michael to go to school and be legitimate and make a ton of money.
Well, it seems to me that Michael stayed in the game. Mike stayed in the game. It didn't work out quite that way.
Things don't always work out the way you plan.
However, I am saying that, Ty, when you look at the people who have generated generational wealth, we have, I mean, even if you think about like our policy kings, yeah, some of those people still, their families made money, but they didn't go on to become epic titans of business that now own multi-million-dollar hotels that are spread across the country, and now no one ever even thinks of their past.
I agree.
And then they killed the black mob just got, well, see, they was more money focused. And you know, once again, they were very agrarian, right? They took care of their business, but they was more money. And when Dutch Schultz and them guys was like, yo, oh, they still planting? You know, we was still trying to negotiate. They was like, negotiate with these.
Well, you know, we've always been in the same box. I don't care if it was whatever it is, crime or not. And that's, everybody is against the black guy when times get tough.
Mm-hmm. And then they come and take over our markets. And because we still be the most lucrative markets. Think about this, right? The perfect case of transfer of how we are not able to get our wealth. Think about the lottery. The lottery was the numbers. Pennies, nickels, and dimes was making billionaires. The white guy said, we need that. And then eventually after the white guy said it, then the government said, how about we take it from everybody? All right, y'all. I want to point out something that was in the Tribune. What is up with the Tribune, man? It's like one day I want to be mad at them, and then the next day I say like, hey, man, the Tribune is trying to be the black paper. In some, I don't know if they're trying to be the black paper or they just trying to be like, you see this? Take this. Take this. Oh, you want to keep on voting? You want to be just loyal to forever? Take this. So the Tribune just published the story today about the 30-year death disparity between Englewood and Streeterville.
Yes.
Todd, do you realize that if you live in Englewood, which is 9 miles away from Streeterville, you have a 30-year less life expectancy?
Yeah, shouldn't surprise anybody. This is historic. I mean, this is history. If you look back and you say, oh man, I wonder how old George Washington lived or something. Well, he probably lived to be about 60 or something. But if you look at the average Joe Mo, who didn't have a mansion, they probably lived to be like 30-something because they didn't have the same kind of, they weren't eating the same food. Illness came, they didn't have the same kind of care. Nothing's changed.
And that's so crazy because I was going to say nothing really has changed. We're going to talk about it because you know what? They say healthcare, good jobs, educational attainment are the reasons that you see Streeterville doing better. And then when you think about the Tale of Two Cities, it's exactly opposite for all that. Do you realize right now we're worried about lead in our water right here in Chicago?
Yes, we are.
Right? I bet you they done took every lead pipe up out the north side and ain't even one nowhere. They done probably moved to all PVC. And that's how it typically works. Let's talk about it all when we come back on the Talk Chicago 1690. They was like, there's lead in the water on the south side. If it was lead in the water on the north side, let me tell you what, the moms would be so...
I don't know about that one.
Huh?
I don't know about that one. I think the situation is the same, isn't it? But I'm not an expert on that one either. But I thought it was more of old pipe leading into your home.
It is. It's the connect. It's like the process to connect, to fix the process is still backwards because the city takes responsibility, but you have a responsibility from your house to the line.
Right.
So even if the city fixes, but you don't fix the line from your house to the main line, then you get jammed. Well, who has the money to fix that?
Yeah, that's probably a real expense. I don't know what it is, but they got to tear up the ground and put pipes. That's going to cost some money. You're right. Well, everything comes down to to how much we can afford, and what would we want.
How much of the money that we just raised is going to that?
Well, what I was about to say, generally you would hope that you would get some kind of grant program that would be started from the feds and that would go through the city, and everybody could apply for a grant, and a portion of the money that would cost to fix the piping from your house to the connector to the street would would have some kind of value that would help offset your cost. But hey, these federal programs, everything costs money. We know there's money, it's just what do we decide to spend it on? That's why there's always big fights. Because how much money do you spend on defense compared to how much money do you spend on problems like this? Or I guess the greatest example we got right now is that problem in Flint, Michigan. I mean, they've got what I would call a serious health threat with their water. Shouldn't the feds step in and try to do something major? Because this is more like a disaster. It's not a natural disaster, but it's still a disaster. And a lot of people are being affected at one time because it's a populous area. But hey, you got to figure out where the money's coming from, and you gotta make it work. Now that'd be something nice. The president, the president's taking money from like funds and putting them somewhere else. Like I think he just took some money from FEMA so he could send it to work on immigration. I mean, hell, if you could do that, he could have taken some money from FEMA and send it to work on Flint, Michigan's pipes. So it's not just collecting money; it's what do we do with it.
Labadee. You know what was crazy? I don't know about y'all talking about the cruise ships. Is somebody trying to tell me about the I did not know that when you go to the Carnival Cruise Line and they take you to their island, that island, or not Disney, I mean not Carnival, but Disney, that island that they take you to is Haiti. Like they built their own little paradise on Haiti. So what do?
I didn't even know they took it.
Yeah, but man, Disney does it. There's a few places that the cruise ships do that. What up, John Hunt? What up? At 2, Brute, at 2. We need you to give us a correspondence report on that meeting, bro. What up, John Hunt? What up, Dolores Robinson? What up, Carmen Coburn? What up, Carlton? What up? You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And Todd, it's the tale of two cities. Todd, if you live in Englewood, you have a 30-year shorter life expectancy than you do if you live in Streeterville. 9 miles difference, same city. A CDC report says that segregation and divestment. We heard Lori Lightfoot talk about that, right? She said she said that the systemic disinvestment in the South and West sides, in areas of housing, clean water, education, and safe streets. All of those do seem to be problems in our neighborhoods. My question...
All that leads to stress. That's a factor that people generally don't think about, but all that stuff you're talking about, the inability to get capital, to do things, and have a steady job, all that stress is a killer.
And that adds to what it takes. You know, I was thinking about in the black neighborhood. This to me is symbolic of what we're talking about right here. And I bear with me for a second. Todd, have you ever driven through the north side of Chicago and they are repairing the streets? You know how they cut those plugs out of the street and your car drops down in it? It goes like, it can be as little as an inch. And it's like, doom, and your car goes, broom, broom. On the north side of Chicago, they make those ramps, right? So there's no, like, your car doesn't fall into the cutout and then fall out. They smooth it out. They make it on an angle, so when you drive, it's kind of like you drive down a ramp into it, and then you drive up the ramp to it. And it's literally, it takes probably maybe 5 minutes more. But the impact on your car, the impact on your car, the stress level, because when you drop down, you're like, oh my God, did I mess up my car? It is symbolic to me of what this says. There is a willful disregard for the basics in our community. When you think about the fact that, and I was thinking about this, grocery stores, think about, when they talk about food, think about how many young people really do shop at the corner store. Think about it. Think about how many people eat dinner from the nacho cheese man who has made some ground beef that we really don't know what grade of beef it is. But once you fry it up and put some cheese and hot peppers on it and put it in the Doritos bag, that's dinner. Think about when you talk about asthma rates. When I go to the north side, when they're tearing down the building, there's somebody out there spraying water every second so there's no dust, so that there's nothing going up in the air. Go on the south side and watch them knock down the building. You'll be like, what is that, a mushroom cloud? And there are things that we don't think about. When you think about where are all of the worst of everything at, they place it in our neighborhoods. Where's diabetes? Where access to good food? When you talk about diabetes and how many people, how many amputations, how many people got sugar in our neighborhoods, Todd, do you think it's intentional? Like, is it a plan? Does somebody sit down and say, you know what, we gonna choke them off? Or is it benign neglect? And what do we do to change it? You know, I'm going to talk about this when we come back, but you saw that the Illinois legislature gave a white developer from Wisconsin a $3.1 billion subsidy to build a transportation hub that is needed by Soldier Field. Yet, we see a study like this, and I ask, how much has been allocated to alleviate that? Do you think they do it on purpose? Like, do you think that there is? Do you think that people say, they don't need it? They'll be all right. Sometimes I wonder.
And that's not benign neglect. It's just neglect. I think that's exactly what it is. Benign neglect's a different type thing. This is just neglect where if they worked harder, then they would do better. And we don't want to throw bad money after good money. We're going to spend our money. We're going to get our biggest bang for the buck. That's what I think happens.
Okay, and so, Todd, how do we change that? You know what? While you figuring it out, I'm gonna go to the phone lines. Let's go to Carl. Carl, you on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys. You know, I understand what you guys are saying, but it's time to really have an uncomfortable conversation and air out our dirty laundry. Anytime you walk down the street, you see all of this trash. We raise down our windows or let down our window, our trash in the middle of the street. You go to any of these grocery or corner stores, it's trash filled everywhere. Don't nobody pick up after themselves. They throw stuff everywhere. So what makes you think that a business want to come and invest in your community when you don't even care about your own community, black people? Look at the side of the expressway. People use the street as their garbage can. You can have a garbage can on the corner, and someone will walk right past the garbage can and throw their litter right down in the middle of the street. How many times have you rolled down the street and you seen a bag of McDonald's in the middle of the street because someone was too damn lazy to throw the garbage in the damn trash can? We don't care about our own community. Let's have an uncomfortable conversation about how we respect or disrespect one another and our own environment. I wouldn't want to come and invest in no community who don't even care about themselves.
Ooh, I heard that. All right, well, that's definitely a perspective.
He got a point.
Sell, that he sound like Sell, man. You sound like Sell.
He's right. He and Sell are right. I mean, he's right. I've literally seen the car in front of me open the door and put a bag right on the ground and just drive off.
I seen people throw diapers out. Look, it's Talk Chicago. We're going to talk about this when we come back. But Dr. Willie Wilson is back. He is going to break it down because apparently he and Lori aren't necessarily on the... He's not in the transition anymore. I'm going to get the real scoop when we come back. He's going to call in. We're going to talk about it and this economic investment in Chicago. Talk Chicago 1690. Callers, hold on.
WVON Newsroom.
Now.
Take a moment, share the broadcast. Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast.
You know what the hardest part of getting older?
Huh?
You know what the hardest part of getting older is? Trying to figure out where your waist is and where you can put your pants so they won't slide down.
Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. What up, Denise Russell? What up, Del Loris Robinson? Hot Cheetos at 99 cents. RC Cola.
Ooh, grape soda, which is like the most sugary drink you ever had.
That pineapple was real good. That pineapple was real good. Patrick said the white people said they don't want the development because it's going to block their sunlight. Can I tell you what, though? That is the hilarious thing, because when you go to black people meetings, they talking about the rent they talking about what's gonna come. White folks be like, I don't want you to block my view.
Hey, so Willie sent me that pack thing again, and I sent it to both of you like phone, because that's what he sent me. But I just sent it to you. I don't know if anything changed, if anything new, but I sent it to both of you all's phone.
Ah.
Black first, man. That progressive stuff don't be working for black people. Telling you. Et tu, Brute. I'm telling you, Patrick, you gotta break down these projects. I still want you to come on and break down the tips. I got your explanation sheet, but you need to come on and do it. I know you're scared. I know, scared you gotta go to church. No, we gotta keep our people straight. It's all good. Do y'all think that they actually plot to put us in make our neighborhoods bad? And I do think, can I tell you what, that trash thing, that was one of the reasons that I think my parents moved to Bolingbrook. Like, I can't tell you how many times my old man would be like, man, I'm so tired of these people throwing their stuff, and then not these people because it was our neighbors. Like, man, because we used to be the maintenance people at our building, right? Like, so we would be the maintenance people, and we got a discount on our rent for being the maintenance people. And so I had to empty the garbage for the whole building on all 3 floors. Like, my job was to take out the garbage on the sides of all the floor. Like, people would put their garbage in a can, and what wouldn't fit in the can, I would take the overflow down. And then we had to cut the grass, and we had to pick up. And we took like a lot of pride in keeping our block night, our project. But boy, it would be like, no sooner did you get that bad boy cleaned up, here they come. Somebody throwing. It is amazing to me to watch people do that. And they do it all the time. All the time. Like, just open up and just throw. And I just be like, God, don't you even want your neighborhood to look nice? Mm-hmm. Like.
Yeah, but somebody else is supposed to clean it. But we get that.
But that, to me, that is. Okay, so I used to liken that to people who have lived in community places where somebody cleans behind them. Or they're immune to.
Right, they don't. It's like they don't even notice. Forget about it. Just walk over.
Right, like it's funny to me. You can watch I can watch the difference between when I had black neighbors and white neighbors. When I had black neighbors, this is just in my experience, and I'm talking about in the city. Mm-hmm. When I lived in Bronzeville, say the front lawn there would be stuff because people would throw stuff there. The black people who lived in that same building would walk past trash in our yard. Mm-hmm. When you go by our place now, the white folks, if it's something out there, they all picking it up. Mm-hmm. It's like if it's in somebody is picking it up. They will put right, and it's like and every day some kids come walk past our house on Madison, and they throw stuff, and here goes one of us is out there picking it up.
Same thing happens. I got a McDonald's down the street.
Yeah, Michelle, but who coming to the East Bank Club? We need to have that at the What's in it for the Black People Saturday school, on Sunday school. We should have that in Sunday school. I'm telling y'all, we could do the temple of What's in it for the Black People on Sundays. You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, it is a tale of two cities. That now my girl Rashana is telling me that we got to be suspect of this CDC report because it could be part of the plot to get black people to leave Englewood as it becomes. You always got to be nervous when they put a Whole Foods in. Whole Foods is not the welcome black people sign.
No,
That is the welcome white people. We have officially planted our flag. We are here. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more investigation on that because Rashana was sending me pictures. I got to say what's up to, hold on, because what's her name? She was listening. The oldest block club, the Miss Ruby Miller, she is Englewood's longest serving block club president. And guess what, Todd? Guess how old she is?
I'm guessing pretty darn old.
90.
That's what I was thinking.
All right, so I got to check out. Let me make sure Englewood don't call me jumping on me. I got to find out, but I'm gonna tell you, I think it is a conspiracy. But speaking of conspiracies, y'all, you know me, I like to ask what's in it for the black people. And I said before we take a selfie, before we talk to any of these people and say what we doing, because a lot of y'all was Lori. And my premise was we don't know her. We got to find out about her. So you know what though? She had somebody that we all know, love, and trust, who won all 18 black wards, and was our champion in the Lightfoot administration. And when I found out that this brother was leading the transition team on economic development, I was like, this Lori might be all right. And then, y'all, I got a press release. And let me read the press release to you. Because the press release had me all confused, and so now I got to find out what's going on. Let me read it to you real quick. As we move forward together, I promise to keep the 55,000 voters who supported me in this past 2019 mayoral election updated and informed. My supporters have inquired if I will be a member of Mayor Lightfoot's administration or if I will be working closely with the city following our collective endorsement of Ms. Lightfoot. I am not, let me repeat, I am not a member of Mayor Lightfoot's administration, nor am I working in any capacity with the city of Chicago or Mayor Lightfoot at this time. If I should be called upon, I will gladly serve the interests of our community as the foundation. In the meantime, we will continue to watch and pray for Lori Lightfoot and the tasks that lie ahead for her. May God bless her leadership, and may God bless the city of Chicago. With one voice, it is the Dr. Willie Wilson. WVON family, welcome him back. It is Dr. Willie Wilson. What's up, Dr. Wilson? How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm feeling great. How you doing?
Hey, Dr. Wilson, you know what? I don't know how I'm doing, because I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Wilson, you know I trust you. I'm going to tell you, you know.
I'll be open-eyed with everybody.
And you know the black community trusts you. And so, and we have put you at the forefront of the tip of the spear of making sure that this Lori Lightfoot, who we never knew, is going to do right by black folks. And we knew that by her selecting you on the transition committee and putting you in charge of economic development, you were going to handle the business. What is this email? What is this press release all about?
Well, I sent it out to let people know exactly where I stand. Often people was asking me about what I was going to do, what I was doing, hadn't heard from me. So I'm just giving her an opportunity to get in and see what she's going to do. But as it's to state the truth, I'm not associated with mayor office or her at all. They said they didn't need us anymore after the job was finished. However, I was expecting to help out with that economic development as was related to O'Hare and the Lincoln Yard to make sure that particularly African American wasn't left out of that scenario. But they decided to go another route, and so that was that. So, hey, she's, let's see what she's going to do for the future. I will always be a voice out here for the black community. And that was basically it. I'm here if she'll
Hello? Did we lose him?
follow me.
Okay, we got you.
I was glad to be out there to help do what I can do. You know?
Now, Brother Wilson, Dr. Wilson, let me ask you a question, because I'm a little salty. I don't like how it sounds. I'm going to tell you. I don't like how it sounds because it seems to me as though, Dr. Wilson, you have garnered a tremendous amount of trust from the black community.
Yeah.
And Lori Lightfoot got the benefit of your support from a community who was really unfamiliar with her. I saw her at every step of set. Everywhere she was going in the community, I saw you there with her, opening doors and making things happen.
Yes.
Why now then, after she used you to get to endear herself with the black community, is she not being responsive? Why is she not having you at the table, knowing that you brought a minimum of 55,000 people to the table for her? And what does that mean for Black Chicago if you ain't at the table? Because we sure didn't see nobody else there.
Frankly, to tell you, I don't know what it means for Black Chicago. All I know is this here, is that, look, I made myself available. She didn't use me. I called a couple times and sent a couple emails. I knew that I'm available to help out, whatever she needs me to do. And she said she was pretty tired of them business, that she couldn't get back with me.
Wait. Did she return your calls when she was running?
Well, yes, she did. She said that she was pretty tired of business, trying to get the city taken care of. And I said, okay, great. Let me know when you want me to help. I'm willing to do it. And she said she's trying to fix it. And I said, well, okay, fine. Well, maybe when she get in and do some things, then it might help out to be. But to be honest with you, I really just don't know. To be honest with you, I mean, I made myself available. We supported her, and I still support her. You know, hoping that you do the right thing.
But you better be careful. You say too much, she'll cut you. She'll try and cut you like she cut some other people. We seen how she do. She is. I'm gonna just say this, Dr. Wilson, and what's concerning to me is that I have not seen the people that supported her on the black side. I have not seen the political return on investment, and this is politics. Dr. Wilson, we know you ain't asking for no money. We know that when you are going to the table, you are fighting to try and make sure that you bring more resources back to our community. But now it seems as though, like I tell y'all, we get around these white folks, and then the white liberals get involved, and then they convince you that the black people aren't that important or aren't a necessity. Dr. Wilson, I need to know, did she play you? Do you feel like she played you? Because if she did, we got some issues. Because we don't know nobody over there. We don't. And we were counting on you. I'm going to tell you. We were counting on you to be the black point person. Between you and Anthony Beckham, those are the only two black people we knew in that administration. Period.
Well, yeah. Well, let me put it plain to you. But I made myself available. I feel that we do need somebody from the African American community who is going to look out for the best interest of the community. And I don't feel it's there right now. I'm just hoping she can take a look at that and change it. Nobody at the table with the ranking yard. For example, when I was on the economic team, transition team, I said, well, okay, if you're going to put $1 billion out here, what are the requirements for blacks to benefit? I said, okay. I said, so a lot of the African American business people have bad credit because of whatever reason. I said, other one, what about the situation that people have been in jail, second chances? How you gonna work that out to make sure they benefit? Those were serious questions that I asked, and still a serious question today.
Dr. Wilson, I gotta go to traffic and weather. I'm gonna have you hold on. But also, when I come back, I want to know, before they did this, did you get some black people in some key cabinet positions or some black people that are talking to her that are that are working at the city. We're going to talk about this because, y'all, this is going to be very important for us going forward. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
More of the morning show.
I got you, PB. I asked you, but y'all, I got used. Use me, baby, tonight. You got the car. You got the really like the way you use me. Hey, really like the way you use me.
Is that what they say? Oh, that's right. He's right. Yeah. That's exactly what we were saying. Don't know her, don't know anything about her. What I know are the people who are her advisors, and in my opinion, they don't have any true ties to the South Side and the West Side. But like Dr. Wilson is saying, I guess we don't know everything. But it is a bad sign where it appears as if, like Anthony Beale, who was a true supporter of her, has been sent out to pasture before anything even started. Now, she may not have appreciated him saying that the aldermen should organize themselves, but that's just a position. If he was truly in her camp, he would have gotten something, a committee out of it. That's craziness that happens when people think about black folks, really. I look at the two ex-elected officials who are with her, David Orr and Dick Simpson. I think, man, here's two guys who wanted to change the system. They wanted to change people at the top, but that doesn't mean that they were truly working with us. David Orr was part of the Harold Washington side, but man, he still comes up from the furthest north spot on the city. What does he know about the South or West Side? So it's not like we're expecting anything out of him. Dick Simpson, he's from that way up north side. They don't spend time in our areas. They wouldn't know what we need. So this is I find this kind of a warning sign early on.
Ooh, it's about to be this about to get real good real quick, y'all. I'm telling y'all now. Be ready. Music. One more label try to stop me. It's gonna be some dread wrinkles in your lobby. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Just another day up. late though. Mm-mm-mm. Try to stop. It's gonna be some drag. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And Todd, we are talking to Dr. Willie Wilson. Dr. Willie Wilson, you know what? I'm going to go back to a clip. You were on the Cliff Kelly show, and I remember this, and I was super fired up. Play the clip, Annette.
I'm in charge of economic development for the city of Chicago, representing local as well as national as well as worldwide. Any business got to do come in Chicago. That's the title I've been given, and I have accepted that.
So, Dr. Wilson, talk to me about what did Lori Lightfoot say to you when she gave you that power?
Well, I think what had happened, it meant that's just what it said, in charge of the economic piece, but we really didn't get an opportunity to really to dig into it because there's a lot more people that was dealing with it, and so I didn't get a chance to call the meeting and select certain people, and they had it pretty much already set up, and I think it was more or less just kind of like using the name to try to get through. But I did make mention of that, but we got a chance to voice our opinion, and after we voiced our opinion, that was pretty much it, and went to another meeting and a couple meetings, that was pretty much it, but that was some things that I would have loved to see in there, but I just didn't get the opportunity to really to play the role that as a chairman of the economic development task force would like to have got it done. So what happened, I really don't really know. We also gave, there's a guy called Mike Neal and myself when we was on the task force for the state. We gave all that info to them, and it was designed for African American only, and so they didn't use none of that. And so I really, to be honest with you, I don't know what happened or who talked to her, what the decision was in terms of my not being a part of her administration. I did inquire.
So when did
I really know today.
Oh, you did inquire about not being a part of her administration, and how did that conversation go? What was said to you? Who said it to you? Was it her? Was it Maurice Clausen? Who talked to you and said, Dr. Wilson, we will no longer need your services?
Well, that was in a meeting. That was to all of us there. All the task force together. That was myself, about 4 or 5 people. And the question was asked, well, where do we go from here to help out and everything else? And I was in that meeting. We was talking about different outline, what we wanted to see. And they said, well, we said, where do we go at now? And they said, well, we pretty much done with you guys. If we need you, we will call you in the future.
Wait, that sounds like Hollywood. Dr. Wilson, do you feel used or duped in any way? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm starting to feel a little used, and I'm starting to feel a little duped because of my trust in, not trust of you, but trust that by having you there, we would at least know that our voice was going to be heard. Talk to me about, do you feel used? And did she manipulate the black community, and were you a part of that?
No, here's my gut feel on this whole situation. I don't know what happened. Would I like to see it done differently? Yes. All right. Did I have any leeway to get to her and make a voice? I think she put in charge of Maurice, the chief of staff.
Now, is that a black guy or a white guy?
He's a white guy.
How's a white guy named Maurice? I ain't never met a white guy named Maurice.
His name is Maurice, right? Maurice. I made my comment to him that I was displeased on some of the things or how things were going. And I also made that known to Mayor Lightfoot as well. And that was basically what were. And so would I like to see things done better? Yes, I would have. Do I think that the African American in position in her administration that really going to talk and feel comfortable saying it like it is and looking out for the best interest. I like to see somebody that, and it doesn't have to be me, you know. But
So, is there anybody there that you know of right now? Who is in the Lightfoot administration that is representing the interests of black people? Not people of color, not progressive, but straight up black.
I don't know him.
I think that's the answer we looking for right there. Y'all, that is the Dr. Willie Wilson. Dr. Wilson, we got to go to traffic news and the weather, but I'm going to just tell you, my brother, if they play you, then we know what they going to do to us. Because you don't need them. You still sign in front of your checks. We still trying to get our checks cashed on the back. Hey, y'all, when Dr. Wilson, you know you always got a spot right here on the WVON Morning Show. We appreciate you, Doctor, and we'll be back after traffic news and the weather.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
That was fucked up. Excuse my language.
Well, you know what you're talking about yesterday. I mean, that's basically what it was. You were saying who was in the camp. And who knows anybody who's black who's in our camp. I was talking to an elected official yesterday, and I asked that question. I was like, so who do you know from the black, the south side, west side, who's in the camp with the mayor? And they were like, well, there is nobody that I really know of. Like, there are some black people in their camp, but they're the black people that are never in the black neighborhood. So right now, it's just who's going to be the voice? Talk about what's going on in their neighborhood.
Did we make some news?
You should have.
We should send that to, if you take that clip, Fran Spillman will probably do it. She said if we have news, just send it to her. She would, I think that's a story though, that Willie Wilson said he got played by and I asked who, and he said, beautiful. I just like saying my name. You don't want no problem with me. All I'm saying is they should have called us back. Now watch. Hey, tell Sonya to send it. Tell Sonya. Sonya. Todd, you get the camera. Now I can hear everything they saying, and the one time I want to talk through the glass, they don't want to hear that.
That's the way.
Sonya, send the net the press release.
Yeah.
Sonya, send the net the press release.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. Yeah, so this is an interesting start.
I'm gonna tell you.
We'll see how.
So you try to do that black and white stuff, that Rainbow Coalition. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there was some promos in there. And you know this. Man.
Yeah. Willie Wilson. Well, Willie ain't got no shot. What about the rest of us?
Did you already hit Ronald Pope up? Because I can call him if you did not.
Yeah, he's here. He's gonna be here tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Okay. And that other guy that you said was gonna be with him, right?
Tom Vanderberg.
Okay. Annette, look at your phone for that press release.
Oh, Deacon Your Mouth is back. Hey, Deacon Your Mouth. You back? Deacon Your Mouth. You back. You back to trolling. Y'all better stay up off the people. Don't nobody tell nobody what should be. So here's the thing. Y'all can't tell people what should be their concern. Everybody got their own issues and their own things of what they find or they drill out of it. Hopefully we try to give you enough that you can find something. I think that the thing that we should pay attention to with the Lori Lightfoot campaign is that she has basically excommunicated every black person that was on board. Does that make sense? So now we have to ask, who are the black people in her administration? And like, I'm gonna say this, I never met the Maurice Clausen, but I didn't know he was white. So the chief of staff is white. Everybody's white. Rod Joy, who was the senior person, is gone, right? You just heard Dr. Wilson is gone. Robin Kelly is in freaking LA, and obviously, I don't know if Jonathan was able to tell her, because he probably should have told her not to mess with Mr. H. So, my question becomes, what now? Y'all are clapping and taking selfies, but you don't. Again, if I tell you the person is Jai, it's easy for the black person to dismantle the bricks in the black community than the white person. So now I guess the only person we got in the administration is, that's right, is Jonathan Jackson. What's funny?
Oh, you wouldn't care. It was the prize fight. It's way off the subject. The prize fight, somebody made a little video. The guy gets hit, and they're still fighting, but you can see his spirit leaving. Grabs his luggage.
So, can I tell y'all? So I don't want to be funny, but this is what happens when non-political people get the political spot. And if you ain't thinking and you ain't locking it in and you don't lock it down before you make the deal, right? He picked the winner, but he didn't pick the winner and make the winner make the demand up front. So when you don't make a demand and they ain't gotta pay you back, they'll take it and then throw you away.
Right.
This is why I'm always concerned about who is representing us politically in the rooms. But okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and keep on getting smacked around. Just telling y'all was running around behind the flag. But it's okay. Right. Just because you run don't mean you understand the game. You are tuned into the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger, but y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Gotta say what's up to Sonia Tompkins and Sonia Escobar. They are the Wonder Twins. That's right, Activate, and my co-host Todd Stroger. Todd, I'm gonna tell you, I was a bit disappointed but not surprised by our interview with Dr. Willie Wilson.
Right. Let me tell you, I had a conversation with an elected official yesterday.
Okay.
An alderman. And I asked him your question. So who's in the camp? And he was like, nobody I know of. He said there might be some dark faces, but they're the dark faces that don't live in the neighborhood, never been around the South and the West Side.
I am going to, so I don't want to shade anybody because, you know, clearly Lori Lightfoot makes a list and checks it twice. But I'm like, you know, I feel like progressive people, so she's a progressive. Can we, or not a progressive, but she fits in that white North Shore progressive kind of box. Can we say that?
I can.
Okay. So, you know that them, and even the black people from that would be in her camp, probably would not find very much appeal in a Willie Wilson. Because a Willie Wilson is, in my estimation, who they believe they are above. And my concern with Willie Wilson being our chief negotiator, and then when he was our chief negotiator, he came in talking about progressive, and he was going to represent all people. It don't never work out that way for us. And all the all people, where were all the all people when he got... So, do we feel like he got played? Todd, do you think he got played? Do you think he got used?
At this stage, I would say yes.
So he did not get any placements, right? So typically, I would have expected Willie Wilson to be the person that at least got the black outreach person, right? Like, you know, the person that goes to talk to the black people. I don't know who the black person is, because every administration, you know, they got an Asian person for the Asian people. The head of outreach now is a Latina. So where does that leave black folks? See, this Rainbow Coalition stuff? Black folks always want to be on somebody else's team. And then as soon as they be like, well, we won the game, you don't get the ball, then we... So all of our political capital in that administration was... Okay, who's left? Todd, who were the black people we saw with Lori Lightfoot? Rod Joy, he was a North Side black dude, but he gone. He went to Seattle. He's not there anymore. Okay? So no more Rod Joy. That was a senior person. Willie Wilson came on late. Willie Wilson's been summarily dismissed. Who's the other black person? Well, Maurice, who we thought was black, ain't black.
What? Who's that?
I thought Maurice. His name was Maurice. I was like, oh, he gotta be black. I was like, man, when we gonna go holler at Mo or Reese? You know, it's Mo or Reese. All right, so.
Deli says a lot of great things about it. So
who? That name's not. You don't say that. That name's banned from this show.
I paid for his shoe shine, so I can talk about him.
You paid for his shoe shine?
So I can talk about him.
Okay.
That's what had to be negative. I was like, I'm gonna say some bad things about you. So
okay.
yeah, I'll pay for this.
So now my question becomes: then you think about this. So then she put Pat Dowell in as the. She put Pat Dowell in the most powerful committee
that black folks ever had.
That black folks ever had.
Well, that's not true. That's right, I forgot.
Well, finance. We had it with Wilson Frost.
Right.
Right, but since then, since they got wise, they was like, oh no, we never let them bring it
right,
back.
since they got wise.
They like, and so she put Pat Dowell in the spot of the budget chair, taking out the power, the traditional black hardcore power. See, if you put a mixed person in the spot, and Pat Dowell is mixed, in that when I talk about she's the alderman of a mixed ward, so she has to balance white and black concerns, whereas Carrie Austin could be like black.
Right. The truly black wards are 98% black.
Right.
To be honest with you.
But you can't have that But you got to get a spot. See how they did this? They was pretty slick, man. So you put in the most you keep a black person that's mixed in the black spot, knowing that they're going to lean white more than they're going to lean black. Right? I mean, think about it. You put the person, so hold on. $55 million she sent to the north side while her kids was getting kicked out at NTA. And now, did y'all hear about the fact that down at the state level, they passed a $3.8 billion deal that would allow a white developer from Landmark Development from Wisconsin to build a transportation center right next to Soldier Field? Y'all, Then Lori Lightfoot called him disrespectful because he didn't ask her first. He went downstate and did it because he got some slick lobbyists that say, oh, you want to get it? Look, we can go around the city. We just go downtown and get this money, $3.8 billion. I think that one of these days, somebody's going they are building a French-style revolution in Illinois. Because they keep spending billions of dollars like everybody on the south and west side is like, so wait, y'all got another $3 billion? You just raised my taxes? And we about to pay for a white guy from Wisconsin to make another $1 billion? Y'all. And Lori Lightfoot was like, it was disrespectful. Disrespectful because we didn't talk to her. She knows she got to get her law firm in. I'm saying. What law firm? I'm telling you. Y'all. I'm just saying. And I bet it ain't a black law firm. All right, I'm going to the phone lines. Let's go to Art. Art, you on the Talk Chicago 16. Art, you on the Talk Chicago?
Hey, what's going on, young man?
What's up, sir?
First of all, you all need to call Lori Lightfoot in, and
she ain't coming to me. She going to the softball. She ain't gonna come here. I'm just telling you now, cause they ain't even return my call.
At the end of the day, whoever's in charge, they need to call in. She has to be held accountable, and she has to explain to us why that he's not there. I'll leave with that because I got tied up real quick, but may God bless. But she has no past. She needs to do exactly what she said she was going to do. Period, point blank.
Thank you, Art. We have reached out, according to my super producer. We have reached out. There was somebody that told me, I think a lady named Marielle told me that we were going to talk to her before she even got in, and we never heard from her again. And so I'm sure that she'll probably be at GCI or something. You know what I'm saying? She'll get the curse on air. Everybody be like, ooh, that's really cool. You curse on air. We'll go for the selfies. We'll be taking the pictures. And then Willie Wilson still be outside. Let's go to Brother Ball. Brother Ball, you on Talk Chicago 1690.
Ding. Let me tell you something, Maze, and I'm serious. Look, man, I watched Channel 11 with you. I get up, I smoke my little coffee or whatever. And they said that Illinois and New Jersey are the two brokest states in the United States. So let's piggyback off of what we're talking about now. You just said earlier that we now have the highest gas again in the United States. We now finna get taxed again. Now you just said we got $3 billion worth of white boys finna come on Soldiers Field for what? I don't even care. This is the only thing I'm telling you. Maze, I'm all out of fight. Okay? My heart is too heavy. I have children to raise. I don't know how young your children are. I got a 9-year-old and an 8-year-old, and the rest of them can pretty much fend for themselves if it ever get thick like it's about to. I'm getting ready to leave Chicago, brother. I don't have no more fight in me. I see the bigger picture. You know, everybody in that studio know that they railroaded Willie Wilson on purpose. They put Amara Enya in there on purpose. They in my opinion, LaShawn Ford shouldn't even ran because we need him where he is. Okay? But they put everybody in place as pawns to split that black vote up and keep Willie out of there. Now you make a promise to the man because you know he's the only one with our interests in mind. What are they doing? They're showing you blatantly, once again, I told you, we don't count as people, Maze, and they're showing us. Y'all be smooth, kill the lollipops, death to the lollipops. I'm gone.
Thanks, Brother Ball. Hey, we're going to talk about it more when we come back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of...
Well, that was
That was impassioned.
Yeah, that's the word. Exactly.
That was impassioned.
Exactly. Yeah, he said exactly what was on his heart there, and yeah, shoot. First, when I heard Mace talk about lollipops, I was like, man, that's kind of funny. But you know, when you reflect on it and think about it, man, how do we get our politicians to feel empowered? Right? That's what I think it is. You only fight with the weapons you think you have. So I think our politicians don't feel like there's enough people behind them as they get beaten up if they stray too far from the company line and things of that nature. And when they coming up for election, or even just during the year, because during the year, politicians are part of the community. They fund things, they give people money to do things. And where do they get that money from? They get a great portion from lobbyists and businessmen who are in the area, and those people tend not to be us. So I always say, if you want your politician to feel like they can do their job to the greatest, is to support them. And they know they got you behind them, they can be more carefree, take chances, and push for things that the majority may not be concerned with, but we are. But man, it's hard to do that when you're out there. You feel like you're running a battle with only 10 people behind you. That's the great thing about what Mark and Mace are trying to push. I mean, it's all about people working together. That whole thing is like, give me a pencil, I'll break it. You give me 10 pencils, I'm not breaking that. That's too hard. So the more we work together, the stronger we are. We need to have Anthony Beale on the show. Don't you think?
Man.
Anthony Beale can actually speak to this from someone who's in the camp. And that would give us a better reflection of what's actually going on. Because right now this is all speculation from the outside. It just looks so bad. But he should be an insider of some sort. And he'd be the only black elected official who I know is an insider, at least from the south or the west side. I'm gonna give him a call and see what he says.
Do that. I just texted him.
Sometimes when you're on the outside, you're like, damn, can I get any further on the outside? If I get any further on the outside, am I still in the game?
Poppycock. I love that.
Poppycock on what?
I just love when people be like, instead of saying bullshit, they be like, poppycock. You got that audio of Willie? You got the audio of me asking Willie at all? Do you have the audio of me asking Willie? It's all right. The last one. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, I'm going to tell you, Willie Wilson just blew my whole show. He blew the whole show. I got a host, a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. I had that we wanted after what they did and being able to make millions and millions of dollars more. But this thing with Willie Wilson is very disconcerting for me. Todd, Willie Wilson, for all intents and purposes, was the highest profile non-elected official in the black community to support Lori Lightfoot. Anthony Beale was the only black alderman that I saw publicly, at least on the South Side, campaigning for Lori. Now, I don't know how Mayor Lightfoot, raising money, etc. Since she has been elected, with the exception of the body man, which is really kind of like the gopher, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but the body man is not the policy man. The body guy is like, hand me a card, write that number down, make sure I follow up. Todd, my original thoughts are starting to become true. I am concerned that we are about to get Barack Obama again. I.e., we are going to have a black person that y'all know, black folks, y'all ran around cheering for the historical piece. No ask, no money, no nothing, no guarantee. I was a little concerned when Dr. Wilson took the helm of the economic development, but what better person than a business guy? Right. But who's the political guy? Right? Who understood the political dynamics that, Todd, you never really been a political operative, but when you're a political operative, you know what you say when somebody hands you a check in a campaign? What? Before I render the service, I must deposit and see that this check clears. Because the day after the election, if you are holding on to a check the day after the election, that account is getting closed, and they are shutting it down, and whatever money they can keep, and they be like, good luck finding me.
It's funny you say that. After my first election, I owed someone a ton of money, and we had a fundraiser, and I gave it to him, and he was like, thanks. I was thinking, thank what? I paid you for your job. I would never think about not paying him because he did the job. So that's kind of strange to me.
Well, I'm going to tell you that, quite frankly, the way it works is, I stopped doing a lot of work for politicians because politicians, I used to have a theory, you do work with politicians and you do it for free, and then they'll pay you back politically, right? They'll help you, connect you, etc. But that doesn't work that way for black people. Here's how it works.
One thing, you got to have somebody who can actually talk to somebody else.
But here's the thing. Black people, when black politicians talk to white consultants and white people, they are almost thankful for the white person or politician or consultant. And so they're like, oh my God, thank you. And so how your mentality was, I got to pay this bill, they feel that way about the white consultants. But when it's black people, they be like, you should be happy you're doing this work. No, really. I would tell you that for almost every black politician, with the exception of my guy, they might help me get a license or help me move something through the city quicker. But when it comes to helping me grow my business, never. Besides my guy, right? They don't. So what winds up happening is white folks get paid, and they get paid politically. So they come in and they say, hey, Todd, I'm going to help you politically, but I'm going to charge you $100,000. And you say, oh, I'll take it because I need your help. And then you pay them the $100,000, and then they come back to you and say, but I also want to consult you afterwards. Or I want you, and then they pimp your name and go get more contracts. For us, they pimp our name, we do all the work, and then they be like, oh, you should have been happy. You should be thankful. See how many checks black politicians have written to their black consultants. And then ask how many black fundraising consultants there are. Think about it. There's one group of black fundraisers, and it's like they get the gimme money. But for the rest of it, black people get shortchanged politically all the time. And watching this happen to Willie Wilson just reaffirms why we need a political stick. It's like, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Willie Wilson is a great dude, but he's too nice. He is too altruistic when it comes to dealing with the sharks in this community. We need a stick. Like a real threat. What is the consequence for Willie Wilson getting ousted by Lori Lightfoot? What's the consequence? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Cause y'all Negroes gonna still be taking selfies. Whoa, she showed up in my neighborhood. People shot all around you. Numbers ain't went down, nothing, but y'all, when she showed up, I'm just happy she came. Black folks, we gotta be better than just happy somebody showed up. Oh wait, no, you got to change the song because she got a new song. Her song was Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior, hear my hum. As she passing Negroes daily. We'll talk about it all when we come back. Let's talk Chicago. Now, I'm going to say, again, we should not, I do not believe, okay, so I'm going to tell you what I don't believe that Willie Wilson getting those votes gave him a mandate to speak for the black community. I don't. That's not my belief. I believe that just like the last time when he ran and he got in the third place, he leveraged that spot into being a kingmaker. But what did Rahm do? It was the same exact thing, right? He didn't go for Rahm. He went to Chewy. But my point is, he has not been able to translate his political capital into political victories, like long term. Like, and then he went from there to go run for president. I believe that Willie Wilson was the blackest of the candidates, was the blackest of the black candidates in the race. I will maintain that he was not the best candidate. He should have backed someone and would have done better. Because I think all of the reasons that I thought are the same reasons in my estimation that these white folks don't want him around, right? So I told you that he was not going to be able to get, there are black people that would not vote for Willie Wilson because of his presentation. They just wouldn't.
There's white people too, though.
Right. But so when you recognize that your strength is black people, you don't come out talking about progressive, because the second you start talking about progressive, well, they like, well, if he only 1/8 of what he talking about, we need you for black. But if you want to be progressive, we can move you to the side. We already got progressives, and we got black progressives that speak well.
Right. Well, in the political sense, if we're talking political strategy here, in my opinion, what Willie should have done was he should have told Boykins, man, you're running for county board president. And if we can get that, that will help us with the base for me to run for mayor. Because this is all teamwork and stuff. I mean, when you're trying to do something by yourself, it's the most difficult thing in the world.
I think, again, my challenge with Willie is that so many people that are in his ear, they have enough money to gas his ego. He has enough money to pad his ego and stay close enough that you can keep.
He's got Uriah Heep.
You can keep him.
You know who Uriah Heep is?
No.
Uriah Heep is a character in a David Copperfield play. I can't remember which one it is. Nicholas Nickleby or whoever. But Uriah Heep was a sycophant. Basically, his job was to say, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. It would be like me always saying that Mays is right, even though I know that Bolingbrook is just a little poor town.
Clearly he's wrong, because everyone comes to Bolingbrook to go golf. But go ahead.
I used to stop in Bolingbrook to get gas.
Right, on your way to Springfield.
Yeah, that's right.
That was my stop too.
Yeah. But yeah, So I mean, he's absolutely right. In politics, that does not bode well for you. Even when the person who might be the leader is very very knowledgeable, they still need somebody to come with a different side when it's time for that. As my dad got older, when you get older, you get crankier and you don't want to hear crap and you're mad most of the time. He didn't always listen to people giving him advice as much. But I consider that part of age. When he was younger, he always listened to advice from his friends. But the point was, as he was building his brand, he had people he could talk to who weren't just saying, John, you're right, John, you're right. They're like, no, you should do this. He had older people who'd been in the game for a long time. They weren't the committeemen or running something, but they'd been part of politics for 30 years, and he listened to them. And you need that around you. You don't need somebody just telling you, yeah, you're right. Yep.
And somebody brought up a great point, which is Willie Wilson does have the Ricky Hendon factor, which for a Lori Lightfoot type will probably be extra detestable. Well, I mean, you think about all those people that got indicted around that have been pointing the finger at him, etc. So I could see that too, because they have that self-righteousness about them, and he won't go away from them. I don't know who the black people are. Like, we got that Candace Moore, was that her name? Candace Moore for the equity office. But again, if it ain't no equity project, I don't know what.
So I've had the wrong information. All the information I had was during the transition. So now I got all the right information for her peoples. So she said her press secretary just told me she's on the train and she'll call me when she makes it to the office. Oh. Okay?
Yep.
You see him blinking over
Your ears burning, huh? It's the WVON morning show. Somebody was.
Well, that does happen though.
Not.
Because I remember when I first got in, and I don't even know if I had the press secretary.
Well, I called them again. They didn't call me. I just reached out again and called them. Because
no, I know you did it.
We have been trying to contact. But see, they've given me the transitioning team information and not.
Well, right, because all the transitioning people are gone. Right? You had the black people number. They ain't there. They be like, I'm sorry, I ain't working there no more. You are tuned in to the Top Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I am going to say that I saw the handwriting on the wall. I have cautioned us on so many occasions, please, 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 before you go to the step-a-set, before you take the selfie, before you pledge your undying loyalty, ask the question, what's in it for the black people? Todd, I'm going to tell you, I think Dr. Wilson did himself a disservice when he launched his progressive PAC. And remember, he came in here talking about he was all this and he wasn't just going to be this and that. And so then he fell into the same trap. Oh, you thought the white people was going to love you. You thought you was going to be one of the special Negroes, right? But white racism amongst liberals is the most powerful that I've seen. They have the most bias with the most self-righteousness that I've ever seen. They be like, oh no, they use code words like qualified.
Yeah, I love that one.
And essentially qualified means that we can pick our friends, but not yours. And so now Willie Wilson, who for all intents and purposes carried the black political capital into the Lightfoot administration, walked out with an empty bag.
Mm-hmm.
And now, where does that leave us? Because remember, Dr. Wilson told us he was going to be the man. Lori Lightfoot told him he was gonna be the man. Do we got the clip? We don't got the clip. You got the clip? Play it for me. Well, she'll get it for me in a second, because I think that Lori Lightfoot wants to be the boss. Oh, so we'll get, okay,
You
that's
mean,
fine.
in the traditional term of boss, the traditional Chicago term.
Right. I mean, I feel like she is, just like she told this guy with the $3.8 billion investment, I haven't said that I'm not for it, but you going to ask me first.
Right.
You don't be going around me. You kiss my ring. I got the ring around here.
Well, I think everybody wants to be Richard J. Daley. Even though nobody seems to have liked Richard J. Daley, everybody wants to be him when it comes time to be mayor.
Man, let's go to the phone lines. Let's start from the bottom. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone, you on Talk Chicago, 1690.
Hey, Brother Mays. You
What's
know
up?
what?
Uh-oh.
It's like I told everybody before. What you see is what you get. When Willie turned against black folks and went with Lori, and I'm not saying in the terms of color, we talking about looking at the background of the characteristics of folks that don't come from Chicago. Lori was already an Oreo cookie when she came here, and she's going to be an Oreo cookie when she leaves. And I'm going to tell you right now, that black Chicago can get ready, because when Ron did us with that Barack effect, the same thing will happen with us with the Willie Wilson effect.
Oh, wait. Look at, that's what I'm talking about, Tyrone. Let's go to Katie. Katie on the Talk Chicago, 1690. Tyrone did tell us. I remember him telling us that, too. Katie? Katie!
Damn it.
There it is. We got you. Don't be danging it on the
Hello?
phone. Hey, Katie.
Hello?
We got you.
Hello.
We got you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, hi. Thanks, May, for bringing all this information to us, stuff that we ordinary people wouldn't know about. But I think there's something wrong with black people in Chicago and in the United States. I don't know if it comes from slavery. We are afraid of white people, and we are afraid of using our power. So we need to be, something's wrong with us mentally. It is. I'm 65 years old, and I come to the conclusion something is wrong with us mentally. We need to seek some help from people that could change our way of believing in ourselves.
I'm going to tell you what. Hey, I'm going to tell you, black people are scared of white folks. Black folks, let me tell you, I told you, I saw it, I see it every time. I see our activists, they'll come kick the door down on some black folks. We get around some white folks, be quiet as a church mouse. Let Don Bernanke show up. They be, ooh, sorry, boss. We ain't gonna talk too much, right? Let Related Midwest come out and say, oh, that's who we after. Then guess what happened? Then we all clam up, cause we'll talk smack to black people all day. But as people are stealing billions of dollars from our community, guess what we won't do? Talk. We gonna come beat on us. Let's go to Rick. Rick, you on Talk Chicago, 1690.
Well, it comes down. I mean, we saw the commercial. Her daughter gonna be taken care of, and yours ain't. Willie Wilson definitely got played. And the fact of the matter comes down about who you gonna call, what you gonna do about it. I know you always joking about God, but hey, God will judge Chicago before we will. We won't judge politics. Really, what can we do? What are your consequences? At the very least, you got to embarrass her. We have to embarrass her and make her stand before the white church. We let these people stand up. I'm the leader of the black people. I'm the overseer. You got it, and no, you ain't. We got one pilot. We got Kim Fox who built the structure for us on our behalf.
Thank you.
Nobody else did. So I'm just saying, we got to embarrass her, and you can't talk about it. I mean, WVON's got to go back to being. Used to have activists on WVON. You're an activist, but now we got commentators. So what we gonna do about it? Okay?
I'm not an activist.
What you gonna do?
I heard you, Rick. All right, now this is in case you missed it. Here's what happened. This is what Willie Wilson told us before.
I am in charge of economic development for the city of Chicago, representing local as well as national as well as worldwide. Any business got to do come in Chicago. That's the title I've been given.
And this is what he just told us today.
I don't know what happened. What I like to see it done differently, yes. All right? did I have any leeway to get to her and make a voice? I think she put in charge of Maurice, the chief of staff. I made my comment to him that I was displeased on some of the things or how things were going. And I also made that known to Mayor Lightfoot as well. And that was basically what it were. And
so essentially, as Tucson said, because I'm looking at my man Tucson Warner, he said, did we get played or did we play ourselves? And you know what I always worry about us being? Remember I always tell y'all what I don't want us to be? Sonia, could you play my theme music? Because I really hate that we do this to ourselves. Boom, boom, boom. You know what? Can we stop being black lollipops? Now, somebody called me yesterday and asked me, what exactly, Maze, do you mean by a black lollipop? And I said, can we stop being black suckers? We got suckered again. Y'all in these cell phones and these daggone selfies.
It's above me now.
It is above Willie Wilson now. But I'm going to tell you, we are just happy to be at the party. We are never happy. We don't want to be on stage. We don't want to cut. We don't want to get paid. We just be like, ooh, who win? We mad at them, so we going to be on this team today. And then everybody uses us as our political fight. Oh, do you know what? Because then you get your new gospel song. Then she took a page out the Barack Obama book. She said, you know what? I'm going to get the black folks. Let me show you how I'm going to get the black folks. Give me a Negro spiritual. I'm going to throw some words to a Negro spiritual up in here. The Negro's going to be hallelujah. Hallelujah. Jesus loves us. Thank you, man, Lightfoot. You saved us. You saved us from the oppressor. We are now free from Egypt. And we are going to the promised land. Then you hear Willie Wilson say, I don't know what happened. Hey, y'all. We got to pick right. We have to stop being black lollipops. So we got people saying black now. So we have officially got people paying attention and saying black. Now we gotta have them start doing black. Look, it's the Talk of Chicago 1698. When we come back, we're taking calls. No more Negro spirituals. Let's get some Negro freedom. Let's go.
We got a chance to voice our opinion, and after voice our opinion, that was pretty much it. And
so what happens now is what happens?
It's above me now.
What happens now is you, as elected official, you look and you see where the landscape is and where you fall. And then, like the Black Caucus sits down and they make an assessment as time progresses. Are we getting anything out of it? Do we have somebody who looks out for the needs of our community inside the administration that we talk to? And then, you make demands. You got to have a plan.
Willie's problem.
4 years left.
Right. Willie's problem is in the political space is he kind of threatened a lot of the black elected officials, right? So he threatened a lot of aldermen during this time, why none of them went against him.
Yeah.
But now it's like, why let him get momentum to try and do this again? Because he wasn't ever talking to nobody, and he put candidates and races against people. And now, guess what he got? He found out too. Still OJ. Still OJ. While on others thou art calling, do not pass me by, Savior, while on others thou art calling. Do not pass me by. Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry, while on others thou art calling.
Did you see
Not pass
the public defender's
me by.
article in support of Tim Fox?
No.
All right, you should read that.
Okay. Is
It's
she
in the trip.
Okay. Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry, while on others thou art called. You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And you know what? Y'all, they done changed up my whole show. Reverend Dr. Willie Wilson came in here, got on the phone, got me a little ticked off because I'm still trying to figure out who do we have for black people in the Lightfoot administration. When you find out that Willie Wilson ain't there, when you find out Rod Joy ain't there, I haven't seen my man Anthony Beckham. I'm trying to call him and returning my calls. I don't know what is going on, and I don't know who, when we have black issues that we need to talk to. Now check this out. And then I was thinking, well, who would be the most powerful black representative we have? And I would have to say, Todd, that at least from appearances, it would have to be the chairman of the budget committee, right? That would be our highest ranking. But let me give you some background on our budget, because the challenge becomes with the budget committee is they put someone that's quote unquote progressive too, black, but also has to worry about survival by white people. So we got Pat Dowell as the chairman of the budget committee. She is now the highest ranking black person committee-wise in city council. But look at what that means for us. That means that she is really had a history of giving money to white folks. Think about this. The South Loop TIF, $50 million went to Navy Pier out of the same neighborhood. Think about NTA. Think about being willing to take away money from black kids in education. Even as we just got through saying that education is one of the biggest issues that decreases our life expectancy. Think about the Green Line station that got built at Cermak, right? The DePaul Basketball Center, $55 million in TIF money, all of that. Why do we, new school coming for the white folks. Plus, now this Central One TIF that is $3.8 billion that's going to build a new transportation center because they need it at Soldier Field. Wow, what do we get? Rats at Mollison School. 47th and King Drive still looks like a bullet hit it. And vacant lots in Bronzeville going for $600,000, pushing us out of the Bronzeville community. When I told you that the South Side, by the time they through, the South Side will start at 63rd, I'm here to tell you the plan is in place. And when you hear that Dr. Willie Wilson has been summarily dismissed summarily dismissed. That was our broker as far as I'm concerned. But now what? Now who? Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Mr. Green. Mr. Green, you on Talk Chicago, 1690. Mr. Green said he ain't got time for you. Let's go to my sister Karen. Karen, you talking Chicago. Whoop, Karen gone too. And now Ziff. Ziff, what you got for us?
And Ziff is here. Two things.
Now hold on, Ziff. Hold on. Cause Ziff, didn't I see you? Didn't you call up here telling us she was gonna say today? Didn't you? Now hold on, Ziff. I gotta make sure I got the right Ziff. Cause you was singing a song. You was talking about Lori. So I know this ain't the same Ziff. Come on, Ziff, talk to me. What happened?
Two things. I'll give you some inside information.
Okay.
She reneged on aviation, Mr. President, and she reneged on health. Those are the two things she reneged on. And now I'm going to say the person we got now we can lean on in the administration is Mark Lovely. That's all I got to say.
Mark Lovelace is the new point. So Mark Lovelace, shout out to Mark Lovelace. Well, you know Mark Lovelace mad at me because he said that if every time I say something that the AIDS funding goes down for the black people on the South Side. I just want him to be clear. Let me just be clear that the white folks ain't trying to fund y'all no way. Ain't nothing I said changing what they doing. Let's go to Hope. Hope, you on the Talk Chicago, 1690.
Yes, good morning. This is another more wake-up call that you point out. It is very disconcerting how she has dealt with Elsie. It's very disconcerting how she dealt with Wilson. But on the good side, you provided an excellent history of Elsie, who...
Uh-oh. Well, let me tell you, it does not seem like it is a favorable environment for black men in the Lightfoot administration. It's really not a favorable environment for black men. We heard Tony Preckwinkle come in here 2 days ago, on Monday, and tell us that it's easy to elect black women. And we know that whenever they want to take a black man out, guess what they do? Get a black woman. They find a black woman. I know y'all can get mad at me for saying it, but Tony Preckwinkle came here and said it. And now as... I saw her at every... Hello? What was that? And so now as we think about what is happening, think about the attacks that have occurred and think about the silence. Can y'all tell me any of the black men in the administration? Mary Datcher pointed this out the other day. Mary Datcher pointed it out, and I was really being a smart aleck when I said, why? Why are you surprised that she hasn't announced any black men or have no black men in staff? And I was being facetious because, again, remember, the way we operate, people would have you believe that the only people that voted for Lori Lightfoot were white folks. White folks up north voted for her, but black people voted for her too. And let me just also be clear, she is the mayor of the whole city. So politics, she can be taking that stuff out on politicians. But she is essentially by emasculating. Who is the black voice that we know and trust? Who? Who in the administration says Mayor Lightfoot? I know. Y'all just gonna be happy she gonna come eat some barbecue ribs. Step. And when she cross it up and be like on Jeff and them, y'all gonna be good. Or when she say on phone them, y'all gonna be all good. Y'all gonna love that. Y'all having so much fun with your memes and all of that stuff. You don't realize it's above me now. It's above us now. Because essentially, y'all, we don't have a voice. When you hear Reverend Dr. Willie Wilson, that's y'all. That's y'all say, y'all, that's y'all. Come on, man. Y'all gave him every black ward. When you hear him say that he ain't, and I was like, hold it. When you hear him say, well, I don't know what happened. Who does know what happened to the black people? Todd? I think we got a problem, man.
Oh, we got a problem. Same problem we had before.
So, I mean, I guess maybe we'll enjoy. You know what? I know how we going. I know where we going. You know who it needs to be? It needs to be Kenny B. Ken Bedford. Because I'm going to tell you, Ken Bedford going to have a stepping set out this world. Everybody going to be stepping. And then maybe that is... Ken could get the people out. So maybe that will be when we get the mayor. Hey, y'all. It's the Talk of Chicago 1690. They're giving me the sign. They're saying I got to get out of here. Now I know I'm going to need some security getting up out this mug today. But I'm gonna just tell y'all, I'm not gonna sit by and watch white folks or black folks play black folks in our community. It's so long that they have been able to walk away unscathed. They have been able to do what they did to Willie Wilson. It ain't just Willie Wilson. It's almost everybody. This is the story of every black person that has helped someone get to the top.
Mm-hmm. It's just a symbol.
He is, especially somebody black. All right, y'all. Y'all happy now? Y'all happy? I'm sorry. I know I'm in trouble now. I'm gonna get a whooping. All right, but for enough or no in the newsroom, for the Wonder Twins, that's right, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins. For my co-host, Todd Stroger. I am the host of the WVON Morning Show, y'all. And I'm not going to stop. I will not rest until we get an answer to what's in it for the black people. I don't care who the mayor is. I don't care who the president is. I don't care who the governor is. Your mama, your daddy, I'm going to keep asking the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. May said, we out of here. Peace. I saw her at every step of set. Everywhere she was going in the community, I saw you there with her, opening doors and making things happen.
Yes.
Why now then, after she used you to get to endear herself with the black community, is she not being responsive? Why is she not having you at the table, knowing that you brought a minimum of 55,000 people to the table for her?
All I know is this here, is that, look, I made myself available. She didn't use me.
It's above me now.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation is...
It's above me now. It's above me now. It's above me now. It's above me now. See, somebody done told them stay away from the black people. Don't go over there. You don't need that.
I've seen that before. I have, yes.
Great show, guys.
Thank you.
Hey.
I don't know why Willie didn't mention, he's got a political action committee.
We talked about it.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
missed
his
that.
political action, the thing I was saying to him was when he started that political action committee, he started it, but then he got on talking about he gonna be progressive and it's for all people. And once you start doing that, it's like then you diluted your power. Right now, nobody needs all. They got a Mexican. They got Chewy. They need somebody that's gonna be able to hold black people down. And I think Willie.
He did mention it, though.
Huh?
He did mention it.
Right, but he mentioned it. I just think
I was on the phone. I must have missed that.
he has got to